Hello there and welcome once again to PTE Prep Time. My name is Captain Harjeet and I help students achieve their big foreign dream by helping them achieve the scores of their desire. Now, as promised last week, I'm back again with yet another video wherein I will be discussing one of the modules of PTE, that is speaking module. This module is very important module as its marks contribute towards the writing module as well. The speaking module has 5 tasks, namely read aloud, repeat sentence, describe image, retell lecture, and answer short questions. In this video, I'll take up the very first task, that is read aloud, and discuss it in depth. And as I go along, I'll discuss some tips and tricks which probably would help you score better in this task. So let's begin. What is read aloud? Read aloud, as the name suggests, is a task in which you have to read some text aloud to the computer. So what happens is that you are shown some text on your screen and then you're given 30 to 40 seconds to prepare that text. And by the end of this 30 to 40 second preparation time, you have to relay that text back to the computer. Now, in order to understand how you can score better in this task, you need to understand how the algorithm or the computer PTE algorithm or the software is working, or how it is judging you, on what aspects it is judging you, so that you can work on those aspects and improve your score. So PTE algorithm is judging you on 3 aspects, namely content, your fluency, oral fluency, and your pronunciation. So let's take up these criteria one by one and discuss them and understand what they mean. Let's take up the first criteria, that is content. The content is the data that is being displayed on your screen. The computer software, the PTE software, wants you to repeat that data as it is without changing the meaning of it. So what does it mean? It means that if, let's take a very, very simple example, Tom has a dog. So it wants you to say Tom has a dog. It does not want you to add words to it. It does not want you to subtract words from it, or it does not want you to replace the words. Now let's take up this example, Tom has a dog. When we are saying, it's very highly likely that we would say Tom has dog, right? For us, it is not much of a mistake. But the computer software, the PTE software, is designed in a way that it will pick this up, the omission of this word, that you skipped it will pick it up as a mistake and penalize you for it. It will subtract your marks for this mistake, that you have missed or probably, let's say you replace with the. Tom has the dog. Again, it will pick it up as a mistake and penalize you for that and subtract your marks. So for this task, you have to be very careful and repeat the text as it is without changing the meaning of it. Now, when I say without changing the meaning of it, what does that mean? Let's take another example. Tom said, let's say, let's eat, comma, grandma. So for this comma, I will pause. Let's eat, grandma, which means that I am telling grandma, my grandma, that let's go and eat. Now compare it to this, wherein I remove this comma and I say it at a same speed. Let's eat, grandma, without pausing for this comma. This means that I'm asking someone or telling someone else that let's eat my grandma. So this is the difference on which the computer is judging you, and wherein the computer wants, or the software wants, you to repeat the sentence or the text as it is without changing the meaning. The next aspect which the computer is judging you on is your pronunciation. Unfortunately, There are no tips and tricks wherein where you can just grab the pronunciation super quickly. You have to practice on it, and there are ways and means which would help you to practice these practice on your pronunciation. For example, there are so many softwares available in the market which would give you the correct pronunciation of the words when you are listening to the news or listening to the dramas or listening to TV. Just pay special attention to how the words are being pronounced, and read text, read print media, read newspapers, and try to grasp pronunciation or the correct way it is being spoken. Read aloud so that you can hear what you are speaking, and you can understand where you are going wrong. Also, I from tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow will start uh, preparing short videos wherein I will give you the pronunciation of correct pronunciation of some of the most commonly used words, the words that are repeatedly coming in the PTE test. So for you to stay or practice your pronunciation, please subscribe to my channel so that you do not miss on this um, pronunciation criteria. Now the uh, third criteria on which you are being judged by this computer software is your oral fluency. Now, oral fluency is how fluently you are speaking the shown the text that is being shown to you. Now, the key points that you have to take care is that you speak fluently. You do not stop, you do not pause, like you do not do ers and ahs, which is very natural. When we speak, we do that, we think about it, we process the sentence, and as English is not our first language, we take time to process it, because of which we do ers and ahs in the sentences. But for the sake of this test, we are supposed to omit that. We are not supposed to do that. We are supposed to speak fluently, for which we, of course, we need some practice. Now, concentrate on your commas and punctuation and full stops, because they play a very important role in delivering the meaning of your text. Again, I'll take a very simple example, the previous example wherein we were saying, let's eat, grandma. I paused, I gave a bit of a pause after let's eat, which conveys a meaning that I'm asking grandma that let's go and eat. Let's eat, grandma. I haven't paused at all, which means I am telling someone that let's go and eat the grandma. So the meaning is changed altogether. This is the importance of paying attention to the pronunciation, because it can change the meaning altogether, and the computer software is judging you on that. Now you have to keep in mind this thing as well, that you do not pause for more than 3 seconds, because if you pause for more than 3 seconds, the computer algorithm or the computer software is going to think that you are finished with your answer and will jump on to the next question. It will not let you complete your previous question. Another point that you should keep in mind while you are paying attention to your oral fluency is look ahead. Look ahead means that you are reading one word and you are looking at the next word. This would help you with the oral fluency. This would help you prepare the next word, which would curb your ers and ahs and help you score good on this aspect. Now again, this comes with practice. This is not natural with us. It comes with practice, and you have to practice and train your eyes to look at the other word ahead while reading the previous word. Now skip the words. Another tip I would give you for this oral fluency is you can skip the words. For example, if you do not know the pronunciation of one of the words, or you are not familiar with that word, just skip it. Now, you would say that in the content section, when I was discussing that criteria, I said do not miss or skip the word. But I also said that content section or the content criteria is not as important as the pronunciation or the oral fluency criteria. You probably would miss your marks or some points on the content criteria, but if you skip that word, sorry, if you skip that word, you would keep up with the oral fluency criteria, and this would help you make up for the lost points on your content criteria. So if you do not know a word or you do not know the pronunciation of the word, keep up with your oral fluency, skip that word, and keep up, score more points on the oral fluency criteria, and this would help you make up for the lost points in the content criteria. Now, for example, you have made a mistake in speaking. Another point that you should keep in mind is do not go back and read the sentence again. This again, you would lose your points in lose points in content criteria, but you are keeping up with your oral fluency. This would help you make up for the lost points, because this criteria is more scoring. This criteria is more marks fetching, which would compensate for the points that you have lost in the content criteria. So if you have to choose between the two criterias, like your content criteria or oral fluency criteria, content criteria or pronunciation criteria, always choose pronunciation and oral fluency, because they are more marks fetching. They will give you more marks. Another point that you should take care is time criteria. Now, this is totally computer based. There is nobody who would be keeping track of your time. So you should keep track of your time. Sorry. You should keep track of your time yourself. You have to keep track of the time yourself, and you should be ready to deliver your answer by the end of your preparation time. It should not be that you do not pay attention to the time, and your preparation time has come to an end, and you're not ready to deliver your answer. So I hope these points, tips and tricks would help you in preparing for this task and help you ace this task. Also, as I mentioned before, I will be coming up with the videos wherein I will be giving up the correct pronunciation of the most commonly seen words, or most commonly repeated words that have been repeated in the PTE test. And if you want to stay abreast and you want to stay tuned to those words and you want to practice your words, pronunciation of those words, please subscribe and do not miss on it. Thank you very much.